So welcome back. Let's do a quick review of where we've been and where you're going. Okay, so we started off with who you are. It's really important that you highlight who you are, no matter what your life upbringing has been. You have something to share, and there's always an audience for you to share with. So that's what an artist does. They get to identify the ordinary and make it extraordinary, show it in some way that people connect with. Okay, that's all you got to do. It doesn't matter what material you use, as long as you can learn to do that, then you yourself are an artist. Secondly, I give you an opportunity to kind of check out some art and try to do some art. So with day 2, you did some art. By day 3 and day 4, you're practicing a couple of drawing skills, techniques that you're going to need for your final project. So make sure you're doing those projects in order. They make most sense that way. Day 5, and by now you should have looked at a bunch of artists. Please follow step 1 and step 2. It's really important that you do them in order and make sure that you sketch out a couple of different artists and record some information about them. I'm kind of leaving that up to you, even though there's some guidance. It's really important that you say, okay, I'm doing this for me, not as a project. So why do we look at artists? You're looking at artists so you know that there's more out there than what people fed you at some point about art. You know, it's not a Michelangelo or a Leonardo da Vinci, or Van Gogh. Those aren't the only artists out there. There's so many different types, so many different styles. And the materials, that's what fascinates me, is that you don't have to be a good drawer or painter to be an artist. There are just so many other different variations of art. And I'm not giving you all of them, but I'm giving you a variety that's more unique and a variety that may be more, I'm giving you artists that are more relevant today. So what do we do now? Now that you've got some artists sketched out in your art journals, what you're going to do is one of 2 things, and here are your choices. So choice A is going to be, you write an essay. The essay is about 6 paragraphs long. It's very easy. I've laid out what I want to see out of it. Again, this isn't an assignment. It's for you to realize who's out there and what they're doing and how you can identify their backgrounds and their style and what they do and why they do it. So you can realize that you yourself can do it at a different capacity. That's the option A, is simply put an essay. Option B, which is what I recommend, is to take that information that you gathered from your artists, do a little bit more research by searching up artwork created by them, whether it be through their website or through a simple Google Images search. And then what you do is you're going to compile that art and install it in a virtual art gallery. So a space kind of like you would see in a video game. And the virtual gallery is a program that's free for all. You just have to have good internet and access to the program. So let's check it out. Click on day 6. What you're going to see is this interactive screen. You have option A and option B on the side, but you want to start in the middle where it says start here. And here I'm going to give you a little visual of what you're doing. You've completed part 1, drawing in your visual art journal. Next, you have 2 choices, 2 routes. You got a compare contrast essay, as we spoke of, or the virtual art gallery. And there's a simple description of both things down below, including a video, an interactive virtual gallery that I've put together so you can visualize what a virtual gallery looks like. After that, you can actually go back to day 6 by clicking on this link right here. And it's going to take you back to this page. Next, you have option A and option B. So option A was the essay, and it's here that you read more about it and find out the specifics behind it. So paragraph 1, it says, students will write an essay comparing the 2 artists researched in their own visual arts journal. The 6th paragraph essay is a comparison contrast of the artists and a critique of their work. That means you're going to criticize their work, look at it with a critical eye. Students may need to conduct a little more research to be able to fully answer all of the required criteria for each paragraph. Paragraph 1 and 2, describe each artist individually. Tell us about their personal stories. What do I find interesting about their personal lives? It is important that I try to understand the artist before I try to understand their artwork. At the end of the paragraphs, describe why I chose to compare and contrast these artists. Understand, I do want you guys to use better, more emotive words than happy, mad, sad, ugly, angry, pretty. words like that. I want you guys to really investigate words that really give you a good understanding of what we're looking at, and more expressive ways to say things. So instead of writing, there's anger in this painting, what if you wrote the word volcanic? Like you never even thought about using the word volcanic, like a volcano, to describe someone's feeling or the way someone might feel in a painting. So find creative words. Remember, you're in creative class. Paragraphs 3 and 4, the subject matter. What is the artwork? What aspects of the 4 points from day 1 do you notice? What do I see is a question. What is the meaning and significance of this work? The aesthetics, how pleasing is it to the eye? Is there something missing, etc.? And then, also the personal connection. So remember, these are all your 4 points that you've learned from day 1, and points that you should be exercising every day. Paragraphs 5 and 6, my opinion. It's also known as a critique. So at this point, you select one artwork to compare and contrast from each one of the artists. What is the same? What is different? How do they express themselves the same or differently? Which artist do I believe expresses him or herself most successfully, and why? What is it about their work that speaks to my own thoughts and emotions? So here, try to find that personal connection and explain exactly how you connect. These should have been 2 artists that you picked, so it's not like that I assigned them to you. You chose them out of a list of like 40. So please answer these questions truthfully and thoroughly. It says refer to a specific artwork and describe the details of the artwork to support my thoughts. So make sure that you write down the name of the art, or describe it if there's no name. If it's untitled, say, hey, it's Untitled by Basquiat, and it looks like a blue background with the head, and then it's got like railroad ties for a mouth and crazy circular painted eyes. Any descriptive language will help understand what I'm supposed to be thinking about, looking at when I read this. So that's the one option. Submit the work with a submit assignment button above, just like you have all the other assignments. Option B, you click on option B, it takes you to the virtual gallery lesson. So it's up to you to decide which path you're going to take. Virtual gallery, you basically hang up 5 art pieces from one artist, 5 artworks from the other artist. Then what you do is make sure you label each one of the art pieces, and then answer some basic bullet points down below, and you're done. If you're like, I've never hung up any artwork and I've never used this program, well, lucky for you, there are some broken down, simple steps for you to follow to be able to accomplish that. All you have to do is click on each one of these: step 1, step 2, step 3, 4, 5. Some of them you may not need, but it's asynchronous material, so fast forward, rewind as you need. Just try to accomplish the project. Again, this is super, super important for an artist or for an art student, is to know what's out there and to learn about all these different artists, so you start understanding what you can create and what you can build from. If you don't have that background, then what you're doing is drawing just the basics. You're barely scratching the surface of what you're capable of doing. So please give this a shot, and let me know if you have any questions.